Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 9th. This week, we're going to jump right in here. You have this koi fish spirit, which is you. It says there's always enough. You have this dolphin spirit. It says this and that are true. We have Uranus going into Gemini, and Uranus and Gemini is kind of like two worlds. So whatever you believe to be true is true at this time, and it would be a great time to develop positive beliefs, of course. It looks like a very abundant time, and I've been saying to you that June and beyond is definitely an abundant time for Pisces. If you're putting in the work and if you're doing what you have to do. So this looks pretty good. We start with the Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, and the Lovers. The Ten of Pentacles, of course, is everything you want and desire in your life, and the Ten of Pentacles is about kind of like holding that vision. I always say with the Ten of Pentacles that it's like leaving a legacy, but it is kind of like your vision for your legacy, or what you think your legacy is, which is, that's kind of like up to you, right? So a lot of you could be thinking about a legacy or developing some sort of legacy or developing a bigger vision for your life. We have the moon and the world and the star right next to each other. And, the world is like an accomplishment. The star is the accomplishment that you want to accomplish. And then you have the six wands right on top of it, which is the accomplishment as well. So I don't know. It's like you are seeing something that you want to accomplish, and it could involve abundance. Doesn't have to. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles has an alternate meaning, which is like hidden or secret information. So and it's not really hidden or secret. It just is information where you have to dig deeper, So some of you could be getting information that could be creating success for you this week, or could be creating a victory for you, which would also be awesome with these cards. But yeah, Ten of Pentacles is very positive. You have the Queen of Cups. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is you this week. I mean, you are not the Queen of Cups, but, normally this is Cancer or Scorpio, but I kind of feel like this is your energy. The Queen of Cups really wants you to nurture and like heal yourself. The Queen of Cups wants you to follow your heart as well. The Ten of Pentacles is really heart-based, because, again, it's everything you want and desire in your life. And so a lot of you could be more focused on your own needs at this time. And I kind of feel like you're starting to put yourself first, which is a major lesson for Pisces. I mean, that's literally one of the reasons Pisces is here. Like, Pisces comes to Earth to learn that they should put themselves first and not always self-sacrificed first. And, when you learn that, then you actually can help people instead of always sacrificing other people for your own needs, right? And, it's kind of like a weird paradox like that, Pisces. But I kind of feel like you're just putting yourself first. You have the Lovers. The Lovers, of course, can represent love. So if you're hoping for a love connection, I do feel that some of you could be attracting love into your life, or you could be attracting a stronger connection into your life. The Lovers is a perfect match. So there could be some sort of perfect match coming in for you with the Lovers, or, there could be a much better match coming in for you with the Lovers card. I also feel that you are being guided towards something new, because we have the Ace of Wands in the next row. The Lovers can be love, but, again, the Lovers is sometimes a choice. And the Lover says you have a choice on what direction you want to move in, or, what direction you are going to move in. Your higher self is trying to guide you towards a choice or a decision, but you have to be kind of like tapped in to listen and to hear it. And so I think that a lot of you, even with the Queen of Cups, Queen of Cups is definitely a great energy for, meditating, relaxing, listening to your higher self, all that other stuff. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's time to go for it, for sure. It's like Ten of Pentacles is your ultimate vision for your life. And the Queen of Wands is being brave, being bold, being assertive, really making things happen, and really going for what you want. So I think that it is time for Pisces to really kind of like go for it and make things happen. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So I think it's time for you to kind of like move towards the sun in some ways, or to kind of like move towards your joy, happiness, peace, all that other stuff. With the Queen of Cups, you have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you definitely seem to be more financially focused. Again, you have the Lovers here, but you don't really have anything else. And, I think you could be a little bit more focused on creating financial stability. And it's a great time for that. Like I said, I think I said this in your in the last readings that I did for you, that on June 18th, we have the Neptune-Jupiter square thing going on. which could be a little bit weird. And, I think it could just make us like question some things, or, kind of makes us face reality in some ways as well. But at the same time, the rest of the month is really good. And again, not that that square is necessarily bad, but, just something, I don't know, it's popping into my head. And, I think that you are more focused on just creating financial security. With the Lovers, you do have the Knight of Cups, so, definitely could be a person coming in for you, for those of you that want it. And yeah, it just looks like the very beginnings of something. This is like, like the seed of passion, with the Ace of Wands. We have the Ace of Cups here. This could just be kind of like a new spark, a new flame coming in for you is kind of what I'm feeling. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a new person. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you this week, you have this Taurus card. It says perseverance. It says, remember, slow and steady wins the race. Awaken your inner bull to give you patience. You have this Leo card. It says courage. It says boost your courage so you can put yourself out there in a bigger way. Yes, definitely. You have the Star, and right next to the Star, you have the Hermit. The Hermit has the Star in his lantern, and, he really needs to shine that lantern out all over the place. So the whole point of the Hermit is that, again, he needs to open up the lantern because he has the Star inside the lantern. And, I think that you need to have you need to be bold and brave and assertive and really kind of shine your inner light at this time. And this reading is definitely encouraging you to do that. It's encouraging you to shine your light. It's encouraging you to put yourself out there, and that's exactly what I would do here. Next, you have the Ace of Wands, the World, and the Five of Wands. The Ace of Wands can represent a passionate new beginning. Ace of Wands is also like out with the old, in with the new. So a lot of you could be starting something new with the Ace of Wands, or you could be thinking about starting something new with the Ace of Wands, and I think that could be very beneficial, especially if you're like getting that spark, that kind of inspiration to start something. Then I definitely would with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands can be a very creative new beginning, and I think creativity is very good for Pisces, for sure. We have Pluto in Aquarius in your 12th house, and, we look at Pluto in Aquarius as very innovative, but, part of innovation is creativity. And so you could be having very creative, insights, creative ideas. You could be thinking about creating things, and if we look at the rest of the reading, we go Six of Wands to the Ace of Cups. We go Star to the Three of Pentacles, which is literally putting something on display. So anything that you're creating, really could lead to a lot of success for you. You have the World card. The World can represent an accomplishment or an achievement. The World can say you're putting yourself out into the world as well. So a lot of you could be getting kind of like attention from the world, or putting yourself out into the world in some way. And I do think that will be very good for you. The World can also say that you're standing out in the world, which with the Star, that would definitely make sense. And, I've been saying to you for months, years maybe, that you are the Star, Pisces. You are meant to be a star in the world at this time. So, you're literally meant to stand out and get attention. So you could be doing that. I also feel there could be movement. Again, Jupiter will be leaving your 4th house, but it doesn't really matter. Sometimes after a planet leaves, that's when we do what we were going to do during the planet being in that house. So some of you could be thinking about moving, and it is popping into my head. You have the Five of Wands. Again, I think you're meant to stand out above the competition. We have the World above it, Six of Wands, Star above the Five of Wands. So there could be a lot of competition for something that you're trying to accomplish, but the Five of Wands wants you to do it anyway. It doesn't matter how many people are doing what you want to do. It doesn't matter how much competition there is. I think you need to kind of like go for it. There's a lot of like bravery in this reading. Queen of Wands and the Courage card with that Leo card that's showing up here. So it's like you have to be brave and face the competition, and especially if you're creating something or building something with that Ace of Wands. You have the Six of Wands right next to it. It's like saying, it's basically like guaranteed success. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Emperor. Yeah, like you taking control of this creation. Or this would be you taking control of a new beginning. So if you're thinking about having a new beginning, or if you are having a new beginning, this would be you really kind of making it happen, and, doing something to make it happen, doing something to get this new beginning to grow in your life. And, again, that's what I would be doing with these two cards, is like really taking control and making it happen. This, sometimes I feel with the Emperor that it can be a second chance. He has this Ankh right here, and the Ankh is a symbol of rebirth. So some of you could be, I don't really feel like it's a rebirth, but I do feel like some of you could be having an idea that you did have in the past, or you could be almost like, taking a project from the past and reinventing it and redoing it at this time. If you're thinking of doing that, I would. With the world, you have the Page of Cups. Yeah, definitely could be getting attention in the world. We go Lovers, Knight of Cups to the Page of Cups. We have the Star right here. And so, this is really basically saying that you could be getting a lot of attention in the world. This could be an admirer, and it could be someone from a distance. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a new love connection that's coming in for you here with the Page of Cups and the Star. Again, this could also just be attention from a lot of people. So, and I also kind of feel like there's something that you have to say here, Pisces. Like, I get something about kind of like communication here. So, like, outside of love, he's holding this fish, and that fish could be his dream. That fish might not exist. We don't actually know. And I always say he needs to grab onto that fish and bring it down to earth. It's like this plus the Star and the Hermit is like literally saying that you have a dream that you need to bring down to earth. You need to manifest this in reality. And that's what I would be doing there. With the Five of Wands, you have the Hermit. Yes, it's like no one is going to know who you are if you don't stand out, right? So it's like the Hermit is kind of in the background. He's in Hermit mode. I think that a lot of Pisces have to deal with this. Our opposite sign is Virgo. We have the South Node in Virgo. And, I think in a lot of ways we all have to learn that nothing is perfect, number one. That's like the big part of the South Node in Virgo is to not try to be a perfectionist. But also it's about kind of like stepping into the light for you, Pisces, and, getting attention for the things that you deserve attention on. It's like you can say you deserve attention on something all day long, but if you're not doing anything to get attention, then you're not going to get it. And so I think it's time for you to kind of like, it's almost like it is time for you to overcome the competition, or it's time for you to shine, like I've been saying for a long time. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Adventures card and this Transformation card. You could be being transformed through an adventure. So if you're going on some sort of adventure or going on, making some changes in your life, then there could be a transformation because of it. I think Pisces' whole life has been an adventure. It's like everything you've done has been an adventure, and now you're transforming. And I kind of feel like you're getting to the finish line here because we have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, he has been through a very difficult time. He's gone on a difficult journey. He's been to war, and now he's coming back from war and he's being celebrated. So I feel for a lot of you that it's almost like you have been through something very difficult, and now you're coming back and you are being celebrated. And, again, I think that for a lot of you, I don't know if I said this is coming up in the area of messages from your future self, that, it's like you're about to stand up. You're about to stand out in the world, and, people will celebrate you. I also feel if there's some sort of competition that you could be really, kind of overcoming that competition. This might not be competition how we think about it, like you entering a competition. It might be more a competition as in you're doing something in a competitive field, or, trying to get a job where there's a lot of competition. But whatever it is, I feel like you really need to go for it with that Six of Wands. You have the Star. The Star says you could be shining your inner light at this time. You could be getting a lot of attention or standing out. The Star is about having a North Star, going for this one thing that you are trying to accomplish. There are these 7 stars around the Star, but, you need to focus on your North Star. What you really want out of life. And I feel that you really need to think about, like, what you really want to get out of life, because it's going to be important. We have this bird here. This bird is the ibis, the bird of knowledge and wisdom. And the bird can represent zooming out on your whole life and kind of like looking at your whole entire life and saying, where do I want my life to go? You have the Ten of Pentacles, which is kind of like the map. The Ten of Pentacles, on like a very basic level, the good thing about the Ten of Pentacles is that you can see everything. It's like you understand, what will lead to fulfillment in your life. And sometimes I think we just have to kind of look at that map and we have to work backwards, and the Star encourages us to do that. I also think you need to realize that something is possible. She is pouring this water right here onto the earth, and that water comes from the pool of universal consciousness, and it's flowing out into the world. And it basically represents what's possible for one person is possible for everyone. So if you're trying to do something, I feel like you need to realize that whatever you're trying to do is possible, and you really need to kind of like go for it at this time with the Star card. You have the Hierophant. The Hierophant can represent blessings or receiving blessings. So a lot of you could be receiving blessings at this time. The Hierophant can also represent outside the box thinking, which I'm definitely a big fan of for Pisces right now. So any outside the box ideas that you have would be very beneficial with that Ace of Wands. The Hierophant can also represent your belief system, and you have that card that says this and that are true. The Hierophant is a fixed belief system. Hierophant can represent thinking inside the box. So I do think it would be a good time for you to, think outside the box and come up with other ideas and look at other ways of doing things. With the Six of Wands, you have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups can be a perfect match, so that looks amazing. Definitely if you want love, you could be attracting a really solid connection. Two of Cups usually starts with communication, so you might just start talking to a person, and then it kind of goes from there. I would also say that I think this person's probably different than your usual type. These two are meant to look very different, and, I would say don't let that scare you away from a person. It's like, I definitely feel you'll be attracted to this person and all that other good stuff. Like I've been telling you all year, June is very good for love for you Pisces, but, it's like maybe they're just different than what you normally go for. Maybe they look different or something, but, again, I think it would be worth the chance. With the Star, you have the Eight of Swords. Yes, it's like, what have you been holding yourself back from? I mean, this is very obvious because of the astrology that you need to go for what you have been holding yourself back from, or you need to move towards the thing that you, like, I wouldn't say you've been afraid to do this, but it's like, what are you afraid of doing, And I'm not talking about, like, real fear here. We're talking about, the fear of success or the fear of, what will your life be like if you become more successful? The Eight of Swords is only seeing one way of doing things when there are many. And I think you need to realize that with the Stars, that the way that you are going to be successful is not going to be like anyone else. And that's true for everyone. But, it's definitely true for you right now. And so if you're like comparing yourself to other people or, sometimes I think the Three of Pentacles is a card of comparing. It's like these two people, he's done the work, and these two people might be comparing the work to whatever's on that paper that she's holding, right? And so I kind of get that energy here where it's like nothing compares to you, Pisces. And, we have the Five of Wands here. It's like you could be keeping yourself stuck because you're comparing what you think you can do to the competition. But it's like until you try whatever you're thinking about doing here, you're not going to know what you're truly capable of. With the Hierophant, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is like resting, relaxing, recovering, of course. So a lot of you could be resting, relaxing, recovering, or healing this week. We see a lot of healing. Even that Queen of Cups I was kind of getting healing vibes off of. So some of you might be just healing this week or going through some sort of healing, which of course would be fine. And just, take your time. There's no rush to go through these healings at this time. And, we should take our time with that. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you can't make this one up. You have this card, it says self-care. So obviously a healing week. If you want to live like royalty, start treating yourself like royalty. Yes, you have to take care of yourself, right? You have this believe. It says, when you wholeheartedly embrace the attainability of your dreams, you will find the courage to exceed the ordinary. Damn, Pisces, that is what this reading is about. This reading is about you exceeding the ordinary life, or kind of like, going above and beyond what you think you're capable of. I think doing that could be very beneficial for you with these energies. So definitely time for you to kind of like exceed your own expectations. You have the Ace of Cups, the Hermit, and the Three of Pentacles. Definitely could be love, for sure, obviously, coming in for you, like a love offer. I feel like this person's going to tell you that they've had their eye on you for a while, Pisces. You have the Hermit. You have the Hermit twice. This person could say that they've been trying to figure out if you're single, or they've just been watching you, not in a creepy way, but, in a way. So I get that feeling off the Ace of Cups. That could be a clue as to who this person is. Like if you're dating and, let's say you go on a date with a person that like a person admits that they've been interested for a while, it could be that person. The Ace of Cups is also about you. You have that self-care. It says, if you want to live like royalty, start treating yourself like royalty. Ace of Cups is about being in the flow. The cup can easily reach down into the water below it and it can fill itself up and, cause itself to overflow. So it's very easy for that cup to be in the flow. And I feel like a lot more of you need to kind of get in the flow here or get into the flow that will probably be very beneficial. You have the Hermit. The Hermit can represent kind of like being in hermit mode. It's coming up in the good stuff, which is good. You could be putting yourself out there in a bigger way. You could be getting more attention or standing out more. All those things are kind of like popping into my head with the Hermit. I also think that there is like more attention that you need to absorb. And I think you're going to absorb this attention by doing things in your own unique Pisces way. Especially if there's competition for what you're trying to create. It's like you might have your own unique way of doing things, like in work or business or career or whatever. And, I think doing things in your own unique way is what will help you shine your light. I also kind of get this feeling from the Hermit coming up here twice that it's kind of like the universe is saying, it's time for you to get your reward, but but you have to do it. It's like he's been through the hard part. He's gone through the dark night of the soul. He's standing at the top of this mountain, and he's kind of earned his right to shine his inner light. But again, he has to be the one to do it. He has to be the one to decide to open that lantern. And so I feel like the universe is almost like waiting for you to accept a reward or award or gift into your life. You have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. It's another card of attention. He's getting credit for the work that he has done. And there's just a ton of attention in this reading. This reading's all clearly all about you getting attention or you standing out in some way. So a lot of you could be getting attention or standing out in some way with the Three of Pentacles. A lot of you could be, getting credit or kind of like accolades with that Six of Wands for the work that you've done. And but he's putting that work on display, and the whole entire reading is talking about attention. So clearly, you have to get attention on your work. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, this could be a very fiery, passionate new beginning in love. So if you're attracting love, definitely could be a very passionate connection with that Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands would be kind of like the kind of connection that makes you forget about all the past connections. So it could be a really good connection. The Ace of Wands would also be about building something new. I've been feeling this for a while. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of you are making a complete change. I think even last week, in the week of the June 2nd, that I said something to Pisces about how, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you are making a complete change in work or career or whatever. And, people might not understand it. People might be like, what the hell are you doing? Completely changing. But again, it looks good. With the Hermit, you have the Ten of Wands. Yes, I think you have to stop living as if you are in the struggle. You might be struggling. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it here, but, it's almost like the universe is saying you're still living as if you are experiencing a struggle, or you're still living as if you are experiencing some challenges that you might be challenging them. But again, you have that this and that are true card. And it's like saying you could almost choose to step into the energy of a better life, and it will just like, boom, you're just going to manifest it very quickly. So I do feel like this card is encouraging you to release the struggle. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, Eight of Wands is quick success or quick conclusion. So there could be some sort of quick success coming in for you with the Eight of Wands or a quick conclusion. I think that the Eight of Wands really would probably be quick success for you. I think something is going to be successful very quickly for you in general. If you put the work in. If you do the opposite of the Hermit, like whatever you're creating, if you just go for it and do it, it's going to be successful quickly. I also think this could be communication in love. So if you are looking for love, that this could be a person who's reaching out finally. Again, the Two of Cups usually starts as communication. So it wouldn't really surprise me if that's what you are getting, basically, is just communication. You have this dog. It says protection from a powerful friend. Yeah, I was watching an astrologer the other day. I don't remember who it was. I wish I could remember who I was watching, but they were saying something about Pisces and getting protection from friends, or like friends coming to Pisces' defense or something. I can't remember who it was. That's going to drive me nuts now, Pisces, so I apologize. But, one of the astrologers was saying that, so definitely could be true. You have this well. It says family wishes come true. Yeah, it's a good time for family for Pisces, and good things could be coming in for you at this time. Jupiter is moving into your 5th house in Cancer. Cancer is really good for family stuff, and even though it's not moving in there until like the middle of the month, we're close enough, so definitely could be good. You have this box card. It says you will be receiving a gift. Yes, I definitely feel there's like a gift from the universe coming in for you with this card, so a lot of you could be getting a gift. You have this dagger card. It says fears, worries, tense situation. I think you need to get out of your head. really, is what it's saying. I mean, you have the Hermit twice. Hermit, he might be trying to protect himself by staying in isolation, but he's actually hurting himself by staying in isolation. So, I think it's time to get out of isolation. You have this funnel. It says period of frustration, lessons to be learned. I really like this card because this is how life works. We try to accomplish something and we, go one direction, we hit the side of the funnel, we go the other way, we hit the side of the funnel, and eventually we get to the end of the funnel and we find success. And, so to me, the funnel card is like how life works. And, I do think you are kind of at the end of the funnel here, Pisces, which is good. But this looks pretty good here, Pisces. I like it. So thank you for being here. And definitely enjoy your week.